stand by. You're listening to the Naively Optimistic podcast with your hosts, Dani and Gary.
The ego is saying, what's happening here?
It's an opportunity for spiritual growth.
Do you still think the royal family were shape-shifting lizards? Yes, I do.
Give it up for the lads who fucking shite talking spaz. Run the muck, bit as fuck going down in all your dads. Burning ears off for that cheese, bring all Dublin down to its knees. This podcast fucking shite, tell me where else would you be? So sit back, like relax, have a drink, lose the cax, and take in all the cack that comes out of these scaldy rats.
We're just butchering you here, mate.
You were saying about the booze?
Danny brought up Larry Murphy.
2003, one of Dublin's best known pubs with a guide price of more than 1 million has been sold. Larry Murphy's on Baggot Street was sold on behalf of the Finnegan family, who have traded at the premises for the last 40 years. So they were there well before Lawrence was there.
But there's a couple of pubs called Larry Murphy's. Do you know what I mean? And I was saying to the lads beforehand, was that a bit of a PR disaster, like, when it was all going down? Because when you think about it, like, Larry Murphy is like kind of like the go-to name for like a rapist.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm on the serious Larry Murphy.
He broke the headlines.
So, yeah, he kind of has the monopoly now on, like, do you know what I mean? The rape name.
He barely got any time. I think he's only served like
he's in England now, is like working
years.
on all, I think, isn't he?
He had 15 years, but it looks like he only served 8 years.
Yeah, he got out early. And then there was outrage. I think we were like in
10.
first year at the time because everyone kept saying his name.
Were you worried? Were you just like
Yeah. He was in the bathrooms all the time. Apparently, that was the rumor going
around. He was
around.
a cold fuck though. Whenever the reporters approached him about it, he'd just say, like, about this specific woman, he'd say, "Well, she's alive, isn't she? She's lucky she's not dead."
What the
Imagine
fuck,
saying
Lawrence?
that after actually doing your time, like,
Jesus.
and being let off, by the way, for good behaviour. Imagine the judge who let that one go past.
You'd be disgusted, wouldn't you?
It'd be awful.
But we'll announce our new friend in the room. Friend of the podcast that has... Friend of all, but it's like he's won a radio contest right now because he's got to get in the call up. He's been upgraded. Yeah, he's had to get upgraded from the Patreon. Do you know, people on the Patreon, this could be you. This could be you if you join the super fans.
If you put in the hours in the Patreon.
Yeah, I'm the highest tier Patreon.
Yeah, he's super fan Patreon, right? That has now been... it's like when people get to meet like Captain America and all, like we said last week. Do you know what I mean? The make a wish. This is Jordan's Make a Wish. Yeah, this is Jordan's Make a Wish to somehow co-host on the NLPC. But do you know what? We went a step further. We said, hey, do you want to be a part of it? So Jordan is going to be our man in the background going forward. The new Jamie as
our resident J.
Our resident J as JRE has dubbed the, what would you call it? I don't want to say tech guy because that's not, because you're much more than that, Jordan. You're
How dare we demote him like that?
That's what I'm on about.
Gary, never call him a tech guy again.
No, but that's what your man Jamie is to JRE though. So it's like, how do we actually add even more value? Exactly, yeah. He was like, I don't even know, he was like our angel last week, wasn't he?
100%. I think he peppered us with some beautiful cosmic insights and then actually left the room, unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly, man.
But I mean, like, he's going to introduce himself with an absolute bang here. I just want to make sure we are recording because we've already had a little blip.
We're good to go, baby.
We're good to and Jordan has a crazy story that I was trying to tell Gaz what this was, but without telling him what it was, and just set him up for this. And I still can't believe this happened. This transpired 2 days ago. Gaz, this could be your first time hearing this, and this is outrageous, slightly explicit, but also very beautiful. So without further ado, this is like your intro. This is your intro into the podcast. You mean to start as you mean to go on. So here's
you
your
better
limelight.
smash it, baby.
Oh, I hope so. I hope I can live up to it. But basically, just to clarify, you know nothing about this.
I know absolutely nothing. Danny cock-teased me with a series of texts saying that Jordan's a crazy story. So I'm completely in the dark here, mate. I'm ready for you to engulf me with these fat tales.
All right. So it was a Friday night.
Yeah.
I think every good story starts off on a Friday night.
Yes, sorry.
But I wasn't doing usual Friday night stuff. I was actually playing football. I was down in the Spa Well playing a bit of five-side. Shout out Spa Well. Yeah, get a sponsorship going.
It's a nice spot. What's the spot up there? Darcy McGee's, is it?
I think so, yeah.
Been there for a carvey and a pint before. It's not bad.
Nice, mate.
But anyway, I was playing football and I was like, fuck it. It was a nice night. So I was like, I was going to walk for a bit afterwards. Clear the head. Like, no phone, no headphones, nothing.
It's a lot of head to clear, mate.
Yeah, the fucking prison up there. Wheatfield.
So I went for a stroll, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go get the 18 bus. And I was saying, what's a nice walk to get there? Because like it's about half an hour or so. So I decided I'm going to walk past my old school and stuff like that, and the Ashleaf, all that area kind of thing. And I arrived in Crumlin Village, and bear in mind my phone, great spot. My phone had no Wi-Fi, so I couldn't check when like the bus was. So I was like, I need to find somewhere where the bus times are displayed. So when there's like,
can I ask a question? Who in the 21st century has no Wi-Fi? You pover. We need to reconsider
I'm in a
this.
transition period at the moment.
Yeah, he used to be a woman. Jordan, that's why he has a unisex name.
Don't know what that has to do with the Wi-Fi, Jordan.
But I had to walk and find a timetable. So there I am. It was in about 10 minutes, and I actually got Wi-Fi from one of the buildings nearby. I don't know what the fuck it was. A mysterious thing called Planet 5G. And I was just like, right, I'm going to... all the theorists out there, like...
Yeah.
So I connected to that, and I was like, fuck, it's in like 13 minutes or something, like 10 minutes. Or I was like, well, I walked to the next one just to like pass a bit of time. And I was like, no, but I have like Wi-Fi here. I can like send a few messages, whatever, while I'm here, can, like make the wait a bit more bearable. But Gutubin, somebody... strolls up to me, like, bear in mind there's cars on the road but there's nobody around. Cars
what time is this at?
This is it's about 10:30.
So that's Greenwich Mean Time, is it?
Yes, GMT, so it's pitch black.
Crumlin Village, the location, right? right opposite the Garda station.
Yeah.
Does that Agnes' church there?
Yeah. Yes, sorry. Yeah.
The holiest of lands.
Yeah.
But
holiest of lands.
Gutubin, this man approaches me, right? And I'm like looking at this guy, and you know when you're in one of those situations where you're at a bus stop and you're just like, oh fuck, here we go.
Yeah.
Like someone's coming up to you, it's like he's pissed, he's out. Like this
looking
guy looked like
exactly,
yeah. So this guy looked like there was something wrong with him. He was that fucking, like he was that pissed.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh fuck, here we go, keep your head down. Like I was tempted, right, to just walk down to the next stop, just like because he looks like he's gonna fucking start saying shit, right?
Yeah.
So he gets to the stop.
How old was this guy?
How old?
Yeah, roughly.
I'd say late 30s, early 40s.
That's Greenwich mean age, is it?
Greenwich mean age, yeah. Cool. So what you call it? He arrived at the bus stop and he goes, oh, sorry pal, do you have to wear them masks now, do you? And I just went, yeah, I think you do, yeah. Put my head down. Not engaged in conversation, this fucker. And he just goes, were you in the gym? And like, bear in mind, I'm wearing like
the size of
you're ripped, man. You could have been wearing like a fucking anything,
suit.
wearing a bleeding duvet over you, and he would have said that to you.
So like he's mumbling away, like he's slurring all his words and all, but he asked me if I'm in the gym.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I was just playing football with a few mates. Not going into detail. And he's like, oh, where'd you do that now? And just saying, I'm not going into detail, just down the road, mate. Yeah. Down the road, right? I'm just like, oh, come on, boss, will you fucking hurry up? Like, and then he goes, did you enjoy it? And I was like, well, yeah, like it's grand, like, right? And then it kind of went silent for a little bit, and I'm just like, he's mumbling away to himself. I'm like, right, take a few steps away here. God, no, this guy's a bit dodgy.
Any insights into what he was saying to himself?
Nothing. I couldn't make out what the fuck he was saying to himself, but he's just muttering around to himself, right? And like, he's absolutely gone. Like, you see his fucking eyes spinning in his head, like, and he starts sauntering onto the road, and his car's going by. Right, so me being a good citizen goes, here mate, are you alright? I fucking wish. I just said, here pal, are you alright? Like I was getting like, oh fuck, this guy gonna get hit by a car or something, because like it was quite dark, like.
Yeah.
And he just goes, yeah, I'm alright. I'm just looking for some young fella to suck me off. Right? And I immediately go, wait
throw the hand up. Hello.
Here I am. About time. I've been sauntering around bus stops in Crumlin for years and this has never happened.
Yeah, exactly. You've this whole day, this is like the whole one preparation meets look.
This is Ferris Bueller's Day Off or Groundhog Day, whatever it is. He wants to relive this over and over again.
Oh, don't like, so basically he says that statement, he makes that outrageous statement. I'm rocked. Like, so I go, sorry pal, you've got the wrong bloke, right? And I'm like, right, I need to get the fuck out of here. The bus is probably like in 4 or 5 minutes at this stage. And I'm just like, oh fuck, right? And he just goes, well, mate, are you sure? Like, right? Look at your hair and all. And I was like, what's wrong with me hair? Like, it's like I've been mistaken here. And it's just like, look, pal, I'm serious. Like, I'm not the guy, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, right. And I
we called him, he used to be a woman, yeah? We should have told him that.
Jordan.
Like. Yeah, Jordan. Like,
he would have been more enticed.
Guys, wait for this. This story gets more mad.
Oh God,
this gets funky, right? So I take 2 steps away. I'm like, fuck it. If I make it, will I make it to the next bus stop before he's coming? Because like, I don't want to wait with this guy. And literally, the guy pulls a fucking knife, and I'm like, immediately defense mode, right?
Yeah.
And I start going, what the fuck are you doing with that? Get the fuck away from me, right? And I start like really backing away at this stage, and he just goes like real fucking deep breaths, right?
Yeah.
And starts going, suck me off right now, I'll cut your cock off. Right? And I was just like, right,
jokes on you, I don't have one. They've yet to shape it and put it in.
But I'm gone. I was just like, right, I'm fucking gone. Get out of here, right? And all of a sudden, like, I was just getting away, fucking across the road, get to the next bus stop. And he's just shouting stuff at me. I can't even remember what he was saying. It was just complete drunken nonsense.
Now.
But this fucker, like, the knife was like a Stanley knife. It wasn't like a switchblade. Like, I knew it wasn't like, all right, I'm not going to fucking die here. It's like, I can get away from this fucker. But like, the guy pulled it, and I was like, fuck, like, I shit myself first. Like, I never had a knife pulled on me before.
Yeah.
And there's nobody around. And like I completely slipped my mind that the guard station was right there, and I was like, I should have went over and knocked on the window and say, this choi's going to cut my cock off, and I'll slip off right now. And like, the guards probably would have went,
one of these.
The guard would have went like, oh well, sir, do you still have your cock intact? And they're like, yeah. So you sucked him off. Oh, you fucking come in here, we'll arrest you.
But in saying that, downstairs is completely intact, so like, I think you can make
you know what happened there.
What happened
now what's funny about this is we actually met up with Jordan about 20 minutes after this randomly, and we're like, what the fuck is that Jordan? What's he doing around here? And like, he should be well home. And then he tells us the story, and we're like, Jesus Christ, we didn't know where to look, we didn't know what to laugh. We were laughing, and then he goes, just disappointed. I'm like, why? I was like, you'd think the first time someone pulls a knife on you, you want to be all heroic and all, like that, you know, you're stepping in and defending your missus. Instead, I just got called a faggot by a faggot.
So, like I just imagine the first time I get a knife pulled on me, I fucking like, you know, disarm him, get him into a choke and stuff, like
Navy SEAL shit.
In front of like this sexy young one who's like, oh my god, Jordan, you saved my life, all that stuff. And it's like, oh no, did not happen. Instead, I just got put like a drunken mess, pulled a knife on me, and like I didn't know whether to be like scared or laugh or what. Like, so I was rocked that night, but like, it was all. I missed the bus because of the fucker. Oh, so that's how I ended up meeting them, because I went further down onto the route, and all of a sudden Dara and Dani just popped up, and like that's how we ended up meeting up that night. But like that's basically the gist of the story.
That's outrageous. And come here, like St. Agnes Church, was it? I might pop down there, mate, get revenge.
What time?
What do you look like? What time was he roughly hanging around at? I'd say, pal, you don't need the knife. I'm here. I've been told about you. I've come a long way.
I'm a wandering soldier.
Where's the flu?
But I actually bumped into you when I was sending voice messages as well. So I was like, I sent a voice message to Dani, and again had no Wi-Fi, so I was waiting to get on the bus for it to send, and all of a sudden this like the universe just presented himself to me, and I was like, mate, I have the funniest story to tell you.
And then he pulled the knife and he goes, right, suck this off, and I'm going to stab you.
I was just more concerned, like, I was like, is your cock still intact? And I was like, this story isn't adding up, Jordan.
You vested interested as well, in Jordan's cock being intact.
That's up to your own interpretation. It's like one of those books that just like, you decide the ending.
Yeah. But mate, actually, now that I think about it, you probably had a few chalices maybe pulled on you back in the day when you were working as an altar boy.
Man, I actually had
it's funny to say a bloke.
I had a fine stint as an altar boy. We actually used to know a dodgy priest who went to Agnes's. He used to come into the chipper actually, and he's in his 30s, 40s now. So I'd say he fits the demographic based on what you told me. Does this fella have? Was he bald? Or did he have some hair?
Oh, he had a bit of hair.
Oh, like, this is him, alright. It was darker blonde.
It was dark.
Okay, well look, we won't say it's him, but it could be. But his dodgy priest is coming to the chipper even, and he actually used to take off his what you call it, his collar.
Collar.
He used to take off his collar. He'd actually come in on a Friday, donning a Man United jersey, and be like, "I'm just after going to the pub there, trying to pull a few young ones, you know yourself." Yeah, right. Catholic priest, genuinely. Don't know where exactly. Don't know what parish he was in. I won't say it was Agnes's, but something along those lines. But no, I had a nice stint as an altar boy.
Yeah, sure you did, mate.
Circa 2006 to 2000. Man, honest to God, I stopped being an altar boy in 2013.
Mate, that's psycho.
Like,
what
we were in
age were you?
school
At the age
together.
of 15.
No.
15. Mate, I went, no joke, I was an altar boy from the age of 8 until the age of 15. I spent every Saturday in the Lord's house serving, and I said I put in a good shift. I definitely served.
I'd say you seen
Yes,
some
you did.
war.
I did. Man.
Well, I didn't notice about you at all, and we were in school since the age of 13
Yeah, because
together.
we've alluded to this on previous PCs that Dani has had a very interesting career as an altar boy. But even I didn't know that it spanned up to the age of 15.
It was actually very lucrative, not just
Right.
because I have a vested interest in flute.
What we talking? Yeah.
I used to get paid, right? But
K-Fade articles.
I did not.
No, I didn't get paid on a weekly basis, but what I would get is a few envelopes slid on it. Maybe it was hush money, I don't know. But I'd get money for doing stuff like funerals and weddings. That'd be a regular occurrence.
Yeah.
It was definitely hush money.
Daniele, there's a wedding coming up on Saturday. Are you
Yeah.
around for an hour? What 12-year-old doesn't have an hour on a Saturday?
100%.
Kill. Man, to say I got pocketed, I just got crazy money. I'd get like 50 to 100
Dude, he was
quid.
pimped.
Yeah.
I'd
Oh
get
my God.
I'd get 50 to 100 quid for a wedding. A funeral, they'd be a bit more somber, so I wouldn't get as much.
I didn't know there was altar boys at weddings.
Man, 100%. You can get them.
Yeah.
Wait, see,
I've
they're
never
not-
seen them.
I actually was looking for jobs, and I was putting up adverts.ie and all looking for things. I genuinely think that's something I could get into now and just be like an agent.
Sorry,
But
lads, I'm rocked by this. I didn't think altar boys were at weddings. I thought
Man.
that they only went to the normal services and
No,
funerals at push.
funerals and all.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get. Yeah, well, I think I probably did 6-7 weddings in my day.
Fucking hell, man.
We don't even do much because it's a nothing job really. But,
yeah, well,
you
it's a
start
bit-
off
it's emotionally
behind the
taxing, I'm
scenes.
sure.
Do you want
behind
to
the
know how
scenes
you
is a
even
bit
get
more.
into becoming an altar boy?
I'd say there's this very strict audition, is there?
You can start. I think the ages you can start is 7 or 8, right?
There must be a walk in the park for them. There must just be an automatic yes. Do you know what I mean, if this is the X Factor,
There's a grueling
or they-
training process. You actually start off as a junior altar boy,
right.
and then you're that or girl, and you're
Yeah.
there for. Well, although there's definitely a prejudice and a bias towards young
Oh
men.
yeah,
You start off for like 8-9 months, and you have to put in hours.
Hmm.
You have to put in hours practicing, being obedient. It's weird, man. It's very weird.
Can you maybe go into someone like the pro? Like, what are you practicing here? Like,
So
are
there's
you-
a strict. So what we have to do is we basically have to be the main thing we do is basically prepare the wine and the bread and stuff like the whole
Yeah.
lot, you know.
practice like the moves, like reverse cowgirl.
Exactly. And then no, this is true. And then on top of that, like
Missionary.
Ba-
Pardon the pun.
receive the body of Christ.
Literally.
But that ring the bells during the Eucharist, and then clean up after the priest.
I knew it was coming. Oh,
You actually do have to, but
I'd say it's some job. The fluffers are all in it, say that, Dowdy.
yeah, but then after 12 months, if you pass a test, it's like a grading. It's kind of like martial arts because you wear this big
Yeah.
alb. I put the hood up one day and I went out, and you're not meant to put the hood up at all. And no joke, I think if I could find it, because in 2008 or something, they thought they were mad in the church I went to. They actually got video cameras installed so you could watch the mass remotely.
Go away.
I actually, I didn't realize until I was halfway down the, what do you call it? The aisle, I guess.
Yeah, the altar. I know the altar's the
What's the name for it?
The station.
It's
It's called the aisle, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it is called the aisle.
walkway up.
The runway,
Yeah.
the catwalk. There's me.
was to them.
That
Yeah,
was
it
me
was.
showing off in there.
say it was the catwalk when you were on it.
And I had my hood up, and I looked like something out of like the KKK. But one of the priests came behind me, whipped it down, and then you have to. We went up anyways, and then there was like one mass, and it was like when your 12-month anniversary, you're basically surprised with a cross, and it's a presentation in front of the whole church.
No way.
So then I got my cross. Then I was a martyr. I really
This
was
is like
this
martial
stage.
arts.
Yeah, I got the cross. Then you're
Yeah.
upgraded to like senior altar boy or altar girl.
Yeah.
But it has its, as I said, a load of Easter eggs.
Yeah.
We'd get
The benefits, I'm sure, are fantastic, are they?
amazing. I also was on TV twice for it.
Yeah.
For
Missing.
two.
Have you seen this? Have you seen Dani and the Domino last scene
sure
showing
that
up
just
on
wasn't
fucking
priesthood
milk
or
cartons and all? What?
Me as like
It's
a
just priesthood, was it?
Yeah.
it was just me as a silhouette in RT investigates.
Yeah, showing up on milk cartons.
Well, no.
Prime Watch. Did you ever see that thing, that skit with your man, the parish thing, or the Catholic Church where like, what's your man?
McSavage, Dave McSavage.
Yeah, with the Savage Eye.
It's a consecrated.
Yeah, and the priest picks the little young off up and runs off with him. That was you, yeah.
But,
Oh, fascinating. Go on.
I'll tell you one thing. There was one brother in particular, and I
Yeah.
won't say any names, who was served in the parish that I was in, who actually was indicted in a case. when all this was being unearthed.
Right.
For having his name was brought up many times.
Yeah.
For basically molestation of children.
And you were close enough for him, right?
I'll tell you one story. I was one time locked by him in a room with himself when I was 8 years of age. But I was from Crumlin. And I was copped on.
100%.
I was told to stamp on toes, to bite, to throw elbows.
Throw sand in the right.
Anything.
Yeah.
He was pure dust at this stage anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
This fella was at the time, I think, 79, 80. He's probably about mid-90s now, or early 80s. Or late 80s. And one time I was putting on my alb before I was meant to go out, and this was still a junior altar boy.
Yeah.
They have a little bit more respect for you when you're a senior.
Yeah. That's because you could dismantle them. Sure.
Exactly.
They have to be more careful.
Yeah. I was just in the room, and we had a little side room beside where the priest got ready, I guess. And I came out, and then I closed the door behind me, took off my jacket and threw over my alb. And then as I was putting on my alb, I could just see this shadow appear. Now your alb goes over you, it's a big fucking duvet looking yoke, and I'm like,
he just tied the top of it.
I'm like, no joke. Fuck, I forgot to zip it down so my head wouldn't fit through. So I was kind of stuck, and I just hear a voice going, "Oh, let me help you with that." Right, and I was like, "Oh yeah, thanks." Yeah. And then he zipped it, and then I put it on, and I zipped it up, and then he was like, and then I you put a belt around it, tied that, and then I was ready to go. I was prepping my lines and all that.
Yeah. Showtime, baby.
And then he just goes, "Oh, how are you keeping?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm good. And then I went to gesture towards the door to leave, and he blocked it. And I was like, Jesus, well, this is a bit fucking odd. I'm like, fair enough. He's like, "Oh, sure, there's 10 minutes till you go on."
Yeah, a lot could happen in 10 minutes.
Yeah. And I was
That's all he needs.
like how are you keeping? Like, he's like, good, how are you? It's like, "Oh, you're looking very cute today in that outfit." No joke.
He did not say that.
No, he did. 100%.
Did he make a play for the one-eyed monster?
No, mate. This one-eyed monster would absolutely destroy him even at the young
even
age.
Though you were 8, it was a fully adult one-eyed monster as well. So I'd say
I actually have Benjamin Button syndrome of the flute.
Yeah. Poor cat didn't know what was going on when you were born a baby with the adult of an 89-year-old flute though.
No, that's what happened. And I was like, Jesus, something's getting odd here. Then I sat down on the bench, and I was reading the Darren Shan books at the time. Do you remember Darren Shan?
The vampire books?
Yes.
Yeah, they were mad, yeah.
They were, anyway.
Give away. I was 8 or 9, mate.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to read for a few minutes. Like, oh, good boy, reading. Now, what are you reading? And, just like conversations. Like, oh, I'm reading books about vampires. Vampires.
That suck necks. I'd say absolutely perfect up for that.
He's like, they're awful creatures. It's a bit scary, don't you think? It's like, why don't you have a read of this? And he passed me on like the bulletin from the week or something. I was like, oh, I don't really want to read that. He's like, oh, okay. And then he sat down beside me. And at this point, I was like, no. Bear in mind, this bloke was 6'3".
Jesus, that's actually huge.
Huge and really frail. Yeah. He sat down beside me, and I was like, okay, what's this? And then he went to put, no joke, his hand on my knee, and like a fucking like infant possessed, I screamed. I just went, what are you doing? Literally screamed, no joke, until I went to the door. The door was like actually locked, but I didn't know the mechanism. You have to press it in and turn it. And then the people that minister the Eucharist are outside. It's like, is everything okay in there? Everything okay? It's like, brother, nearly said his name.
Yeah.
was like, yeah, no, everything's fine. Don't you worry. Like, he's like, are you okay? Is everything okay? I just didn't mean to scare you or anything. And then we went out and we went on. And from that day on, I was literally like, I would never be left alone. I actually said it to the woman who ran the altar boys, basically. She was our pimp. To like never leave me alone with him again.
And come here, a quick one about your performance after it. Like, I'm sure you were fairly shell-shocked going onto the altar. Like, did that affect your performance that day?
Yeah. Oh, mate, I was shaking. I was honest to God, like, I was like a deer in headlights.
That's awful, like, you know what I mean?
Or a young boy, yeah.
Man, you've alluded to it in the past, and I've deliberately told you not to tell me what went on with you and himself, but that's crazy, man. I think we should probably take this the whole way, man.
We should.
What you reckon? We'll go after brother, whatever his name is.
I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's still kicking.
Interesting.
To be honest.
Probably, yeah. Do you know? Remember me and you were talking about this, Jordan, last week. I was just like, I wonder, because you hear of all these mad molestation cases and all, like, you know, like outfits and all, like, you know, like mainly like our dad's age. You know what I mean? Like that would have been like in the fucking proper throes of all this pre-pedophilia thing. And I was saying, like, do you reckon, like, any of these outfits like hunted the priests down years later? The ones that weren't grief stricken, obviously. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you reckon they just like, because obviously when you're a little 8-year-old, you can get thrown around the place. Well, bar Dani. But like when you're in your like 20s,
I actually think if it wasn't for me being from Crumlin, I would have gotten fondled. You
would have been handballed around the parish, I'd say.
Yeah, man, I would have. Yeah. Literally
100%
handballed around the parish. But no, like I'm just like, actually, this is gonna sound funny, but I don't mean this like, how like I wasn't even that copped on for an 8-year-old, but I knew sus was up.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, given the circumstance, some people are in positions, and I'm not to take away from any victims here, but like, you know, if a big creepy dude is coming near you to absolutely shut your fat gee off.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way to approach it. I'm actually thinking in my head here, how was there 12, 13, and 14-year-olds in the 70s getting molested by priests?
Yeah.
If this 8-year-old scumbag from Crumlin can get out of the situation.
Yeah, like if you're 14, like, you know, the chances are
I think at that stage it has to be transactional. It has to be somewhat symbiotic. You have to go along with it to some extent.
Because, like, at 14, like, you'd be a decent size. You'd easily take out a priest, I'd say. Do you know what I mean?
You would.
Yeah. Do you reckon, like, what I was saying there, anyone went back to seek revenge in, like, their 20s, whatever, when they got a bit bigger, they were like, no, I'm not standing for this, baby. I'm gonna track him down. But I was, like,
There's been loads of stories of that. There's been loads of stories of priests getting walloped.
Like adults going back and taking revenge for what happened when they were kids. Like,
probably,
Dylan would be the only adult that'd go back seeking revenge after getting handballed around as a child and actually lose the second time. He'd go back to the priest and go, "This is for all them years, baby." And your man would drag him into the confession box and give him an even worse hiding the second time
confession box shaking,
yeah, the confession box rattling, and you'd get thrown out, and the priest come out, sip the cocks and go, "Cheers for that. You won't flip on your way, beautiful."
I remember before, this is with me in confessions. I used to take confessions stupidly seriously because I thought they were like, I thought you were like confessing to God. This is a legal contract here. I have to go in. I have to. Oh, shite! I shouldn't have done that. I'm gonna have to confess that. So I'd have mad like anxiety going into confessions.
Crazy,
as a kid,
man.
Because I used to go every week. I'd be like, "Fuck's sake!" It'd be like my therapy session. And I literally go and be like, "Jesus, what do I have to tell the priest that?" And then you're like, "No, you do. You have to tell the priest this." So I remember going in once when I was like 12 and being like, "Oh, yeah, like, bless me, Father, for I've sinned, blah, blah, blah." And he's like, "So, talk to me, boy." Literally always. And I'd be like, "Look, you know, I looked up some weird things on the internet this week."
And what were they like?
He's like, "Weird." He's like,
"What age are you?"
12. I was like 11, 12. I was in 5th, 6th class. And I was like, "I looked up this video called 2 Girls, 1 Cup."
And he was like, "Isn't it brilliant?"
And he's like, what is that? And I'm like, "It's a video with 2 girls shining into a cup." He's like, "Well, what are you watching that for?"
Marvelous production.
and I'm like, oh, one of my friends told, like, I was mad how I used to speak. I was like, one of my friends told me to look it up. And then I watched this one other video, and this alludes back to something we said. I actually told the priestess, hand on her. I told the priest, there's 2 other things I told the priest.
I thought he was going to say hand on something else.
Well, I did. One was My Lazy Sundays.
Oh.
Right? And I told the priest, I said, "I can't tell you what it was." Right?
He was probably in it, because Terry Grandad's not.
Yeah, I was like, "I can't tell you what it was." He's like, "You're not talking to me, son, you're talking to God."
Even worse.
Right? And I'm like, "All right, well, I'll tell God when I go home."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Okay." So then he was like, right, don't know what to do. 10 Hail Marys, 5 blah blah. The next week, right? I shouldn't be saying this live on air, but it was the time I first.
Oh yes,
right?
Yeah.
Should we describe what just?
Yeah, you can describe it.
It was a hand gesture. I think that's all they need to know.
Yeah,
know
yeah, exactly.
And I was like, look, you take any, whether you be male, female, or anything in between, or outside. The first experience you have at that is weird, overwhelming, kind of scary. And shouldn't be in a church confessional. But I actually went back to the priest and I was like, "Yeah, I did something there the other day." This is how mad I was, by the way. I tell the priest everything. I was brainwashed.
This is the first wank you got. Yeah, just because no one knows, and I have to add context to it.
First wank I had.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
I was 12.
Sorry.
Or 11, whatever, and I told the priest what had transpired.
Yeah.
Now, looking back,
in other words, telling the priest, "I'm sexually active now, by the way."
Exactly.
I am ready for you.
Yeah.
I've been here before. This is my first
And then he
rodeo.
takes no more interest in him at all.
And then what happened was, I told him, and he's like, "Oh, God."
You are invisible to me now.
He's like, "Oh, God, right. Okay." And then I was like, Yeah, like, and it was weird and stuff. Like, this is so weird. And then he was like, right, look, son, get out of the boot. We have 15 Hail Marys, do a few beads of the rosary, and you'll be fine, blah, blah, blah.
I'll meet you back at my place in an hour.
But no joke, like, honestly, until it's like 13, 14, I was convinced that, like, I was indoctrinated by the Catholic Church. It was crazy. But ever since then, I've had no association with anything. There's no. I'm very spiritual and agnostic.
Yeah,
now.
you're nearly 7 years clean now of the church, aren't you?
Yes.
And so, what was the straw that broke the camel's Mickey here now? So, what actually drove you out of the church?
What drove me out of the church?
Because you were 15, obviously. You what?
A car.
A car.
An ambulance, mate. Fucking hell. What
stop.
did I don't know when it was. I think it was fourth year. It was fourth year.
Jesus Christ, mate.
Fourth year, man.
I had no idea. Like, I was friends with you at that stage. I had no idea you were doing that.
Fourth year every
I
Saturday.
cannot believe you were a fucking.
You know what?
altar boy.
I got a missus. It was actually when I got missus for the first time.
Yeah, it would want to be. 'Cause that
really?
wouldn't happen, I don't think. You wouldn't have had a missus if you were still in the church, I don't think.
That's when it happened. And I was like, I don't Saturdays any time. You know what I mean? To like bob over to see the young one.
I'd say brother or whatever
the
his name
priest was
is
raging.
Bullen, was he?
Yeah.
I'm surprised
he
there
was
wasn't a
very
hit
angry.
out on your board. Do you mean?
But that's actually what stopped it. So if it wasn't for the missus at the time, I reckon I would be a lifelong advocate for the Catholic Church and I'd be a priest.
Can you imagine Danny as a priest?
I read the Bible
Christ.
in fourth year. I read the New
For the
Testament.
crack, like?
I read the Old Testament cover to cover.
Mate, that's psycho.
No joke.
How are you such a mad cunt now if like you had, I don't know, like you imagine like altar boys being little squares, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fucking hilarious, mate.
it's weird, no?
They failed you, mate.
I used to pray
They
every day and
fucking
every
failed
night.
you.
About what just...
I have the same fucking prayer going around my head always. I'd pray for the same people. I'd have like it was like a mantra. It was kind of,
Yeah.
So I'd have,
Debuff.
like, debuff. Yeah, don't be a flamer. But now that like that was it. I'd pray every day, every night, and then I just stand away from it. I was like, this isn't for me. I've now been, I was doing adulterous things.
Yeah.
Sex before marriage and all that jazz.
Well, you were doing an adulterous thing in the church as well, weren't you?
That's very true.
You were getting literally handballed around the priest
to be
community.
fair. But no,
Like tomorrow.
I just stopped going then, and once I stopped going, I realised when you have the outside perspective, like when I say I went to mass every single week, sometimes twice a week.
Fuck, like during the weekdays, like not even just on
I'd
the
go on a
weekend.
Saturday and sometimes on a Sunday.
Mad, man! I can't believe you were getting a few bob for it as well. A few bob.
Yeah, I'd get probably €100 a month.
That's decent payback to a kid. Like, do you know what I mean? 50 to 100 is no joke. Like,
That's a few Yu-Gi-Oh decks. It's
Absolutely,
like,
Where's the
mate.
money
a few
was
match
going?
attacks.
The
pogs.
money was going into the therapy sessions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just a vicious cycle. Do you know what I mean? Oh man, that's outrageous. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh, actually, fucking that Pokemon story you told me there last week was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Fill us in on that one, Jordan.
Oh, it was like it was the original Pokemon games, Green and Red, I think they were, or Green and Blue. I'm not sure which one, but they were released in Japan, and there was a song in it. It was like
We'll put it
the
in.
little level. It was like a horror kind of level kind of thing, and there was a song in it that had some frequencies, and apparently around 30 Japanese kids killed themselves after hearing this song, like.
Yeah.
And it was apparently like a haunted game and stuff, like. It was fucking weird.
It's Lavender Town, right? If any of our listeners would have played Pokemon, I'm sure you would have back in the day. Everyone play Pokemon.
Will I play it?
Yeah, throw it on, right? And because I have some thoughts of it.
Listen at your own risk.
Yeah, it just goes silent here in the NLP, and we'll just absolutely all drop.
So here we go. This actually irks me to listen.
Yeah.
Right, well, you got the gist of that. I was 15
I don't know
seconds.
about you, but I want to die right now.
Yeah, I
like-
want to absolutely rope
I want
myself
to die,
after
but I
that.
don't think it's anything to do with the sound.
But lads, you know what though?
I honestly have the theory that this has exacerbated it.
Well, yeah, I was going to say to you, because when I
Sorry,
hear
mate.
that...
I've just seen a suggested video. Can I play it quickly?
on.
Drake's Town, Lavender Town theme versus Drake's God's Plan.
Oh, go on.
Interesting.
This better be good.
I'll wait for the beat to drop. Wait for it.
Oh,
Oh, I'm into that.
That's scary.
But you know, like that Lavender Town thing is mad. Cause I remember, do you ever see when you're playing like Game Boy when you're like younger, like you're on a bleeding 10-hour binge session? I can imagine a Pete like that tip you over the edge. I mean, like you're reaching Lavender Town and you're just like fucking looking down at your Game Boy, like can't believe I'm playing this for 10 hours. Like, because mate, do you believe in that kind of shit? Like certain frequencies, like
100%,
100%. Yeah.
It's like how a song can make you feel sad at times and stuff. Like I believe fully in that.
Yeah, and you know, I love it's mad because I have a few songs that like when I listen to them, I instantly get thrown back to a certain time. It's mad that I can
me
like
here in the Angelus.
Yeah, walk in the light, sets Dani off, and I'm mad one.
It's like a Vietnam flashback to you, like.
Yeah, if Dani, do you know, like Pavlov's dog, right? If you play Happy in the Presence of the Lord, Dani gets an instant erection. Do you know that song? Happy in the presence of the Lord.
I sang that for my communion.
Yeah, actually.
That and Here I Am, Lord.
Yeah, that's another one that just sets you up. They're aphrodisiacs for you, aren't they?
Do you remember those Alive-O books?
Oh, do I? What? Unbelievable.
The stupid fucking songs. Some of them are bangers though.
Oh yeah. Well, honestly, even those church songs we're talking about are lethal as well. Like
the folk groups and all.
Yeah, my dad's in the folk group. Yeah.
Which church was it?
Yeah.
I had a bad time with them as well, mate. Had a few run-ins.
Man, you've been thrown around every church in Dublin.
I actually asked could I sing in the folk group as well, and they said no, you have like one job, you can't do both.
What?
They butchered me.
That's outrageous,
They
isn't
butchered me, I know. This little kid wanted to sing.
You're too busy doing other things though.
Yeah, exactly. Like you were the star like altar boys, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus,
you were the most prized one. No one could get to you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They all wanted a piece, but they couldn't get it.
100%, mate.
Or as you say,
yeah.
I'll take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah. And Jordan had us cracking up earlier because he's taken umbrage with a certain thing that people do when they lose loved ones. Not right, Jordan?
Oh right, yeah.
This is mad, by the way. Like people still, I have to say it. Is it only people with knacker postcodes? Bear in mind, I am an advocate for a knacker postcode.
I have one.
G12.
Yeah, these are the white boys.
No, it's just something I never understood. It's like basically what I'm talking about is so like I'm all for posting pictures of dead relatives and remembered them and stuff like that.
I thought you meant them actually dead. I was like, what?
Oh no, like
laid out like
little tribute posts, perfectly fine.
Car crash.
It's the ones where like the granny is like literally dying in front of them and they decide to take a fucking selfie or something and it's just like, oh, I miss you, granny, and all that bollocks. And just like, if you were if you really think about it, a family tragedy, right? Is your first instinct gonna be I'm gonna post on social media, let the boys know you mean me granddad's had the croaking it there. Yeah, it's like,
I agree,
it's not your first intention at all.
Yeah, I with you, Jordan. It's scandalous. And then picking up that mad waxy porcelain hand. Yeah, do you ever see that where they literally take their granny's hand and hold it in their hand, right? Thing is literally like a fridge, right?
Looks like something on Madame Tussauds.
Yeah, exactly. The wax museum, great show. Yeah, and they take a little snap and they're like, mate, the thing, like, your granny's dead 3 minutes, like, and you've just taken her hand, take a picture of it. Like, I don't know. I think it's a bit strange now myself.
Look,
you know what I mean?
People have the right to mourn in whatever way they want, but fuck me, that kind of irks me a little bit.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Instagram lives now. In the next 10 years, where people just IG live
Zoom when their nanny's croaking.
Yeah, I'm just at the church. I'm just at the church. It's at the hospital there. Nanny's at the fading away, and then just doing a little like stream of the whole thing. I wouldn't be fucking
great
shocked.
Send off altogether.
Exactly. Just shout out to the nurses and doctors. Just fabulous team. They did their best, and then showing the doctors. Fair play to you, Frank.
Frank's just there, pictured pulling out the life support machine.
Yeah.
but like, it's like, I think it's happened to all of us where we've experienced like a death of a relative. I don't think any of us have ever whipped out our phone and had to go like, oh, R.I.P. and all that.
That's for personal use, mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just not my, like, I don't understand why for like the first thing people go to is that stuff.
Yeah, it's nuts, man.
Speaking of grannies, I came across a funny story about a granny. With Mr. Schofield and Holly Willoughby on This Morning. I think this is a beautiful article. Gaz, do you want to actually read some of this?
Yes,
I'll send it on to you. But this is right up Gaz's street because, again, Gaz is the male equivalent of...
You have a great affinity for the mature woman.
100%. Yeah, the older the better. Like, to be honest with you, like, yeah, like when we're at me talking about the granny's hands there, like I was getting very excited over it, to be honest. That was getting me going.
What is it about the older woman that attracts you?
I don't know. Just like, I know you definitely like. I definitely talk it up like yourself with the teens. It's not like I'm some mad MILF hunter. But like, I don't know, like just a bit of maturity. Do you know what I mean? 50 years of age.
The experience, is it?
What?
It's the experience.
It's the experience, yeah. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm still on the tit, lads.
Oh, here we go, yeah.
Right, here we go, boys. I'm reading this. I couldn't walk is the quote, right? Holly Willoughby screams at OAP, 80 years of age, while she boasts sex with her toy boy left her feeling like she'd been riding a horse. Now, I'm looking at this one, and this is like she's mummified. Like, do you know what I mean? She is like a full-on
She's
pharaoh,
beyond
man.
wax. There's no moisture left in there.
Like, Jesus Christ, man. She's like clay or something. Anyway. I'll read it. Here we go, right? Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield, is that Schofield?
Schofield, yeah.
Were stunned when an 80-year-old got very graphic about sex with her Egyptian toy boy lover. The hosts were left gasping.
Speaking of mummies.
Yeah. The hosts were left gasping as Iris Jones opened up about their first time on This Morning, saying it was pretty rough. We used a whole tube of KY jelly. Now, I'm looking at the lad here that wrote her, and like he's just a normal 35 Egyptian looking fella. Like, I would have never thought this would have been his cup of cha. Jesus, she has a bandage around her leg. Oh my days, that's hilarious. I wonder if he like broke her ankle just literally moving it. You know what I mean? Look at that full on bandage around her leg. That's hilarious, man. Stuff. She is in fantastic form. Look at the smiles on her, man. Mm-hmm. That's gas. Okay, right. Oh man, I can't. Oh Jesus Christ. Look at her there. The viewers can't see this, but she's like...
That's her describing the forearm she got.
Yeah, she had her fist out like she's had to get fisted by a man. Okay. The thing is, I couldn't walk the next day. I felt as if I'd been riding a horse. Saddle sore wasn't even it. Anyway, we got over it. Holly and Phil were seen looking utterly stunned with the hosts, holding their heads in shock before collapsing into laughter. The hilarity continued later in the show with the 38-year-old Holly setting Phil again off joking about Iris' reference to KY jelly, saying other brands are available. Oh my God.
See the bit where he called her she called him Adonis and all?
Yeah, I'm trying to find this now. Oh, here we go, right? I didn't realise he was so tall, 6'2". He was an Adonis. Absolutely amazing. He had me in a bear hug. He lifted me off the ground. They then spent their first evening together in a rundown area of the Egyptian capital. Oh my days. She was obviously there on holiday. Do you know what I mean? I'm guessing like. Mm-hmm. The OAP from Weston is now preparing to fly back out to Egypt to tie the knot, having said he makes her feel like a virgin again. Oh my days. The former cleaner divorced her ex-husband of 4 decades ago. Oh my, this is absolutely mental.
I think I sense a bit of jealousy in his tone.
Yeah, I'm bulling over here, to be honest with you. That
You're the ex-fella, mate.
Yeah, that Egyptian rat took everything I worked for. You took everything I worked for, baby. Oh my God. If he's marrying me for my fortune, he'll be sadly disappointed because I live on a pension. Well, the way he was rattling her around the place, it does seem like that, doesn't it? Like, my God, that is madness, man. Madness. Do you ever see these like sugar baby sites and all? I was actually thinking I might apply as a sugar baby. What do you think?
Mate, I think you would be supreme. I think you would be golden baby. What's the equivalent of like, you'd be cream of the crop. Yeah. You'd be like an escort.
Yeah,
like a sugar baby escort.
Like a Chippendale or something.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like ripped to shreds.
Yes. It's like when you have like Uber and then there's like Uber X, the pro version.
Yeah.
That's like you.
Yeah, you're right. Because you know what, right? Because most sugar babies, I know it's largely like girls who take sugar baby roles and, you know, they basically, it's like the GFE, isn't it? The girlfriend experience for outfits like that are minted. Like, but yeah.
Mate, you could do that with outfits as well.
Yeah.
I reckon, because there's no these.
You, Bob.
Sure, some fella tried to do it to me on Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's no strings attached normally, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you nearly fucking lost your string.
Would you do that? Would you take? Let's say the fee is this. The fee is €100 a night. Okay, and you meet up once a week, and you just have to go on a casual walk / stroll with this person for an hour to 2 hours, where this person is is attracted to you, but there is no touching, no nothing. Would you do it? This person is probably in their 60s.
There's very little I wouldn't do. Like, I'm actually very eager to be a sugar baby. Like,
it's like it's a walk with your dad, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So which means you're saying I get 100 quid an hour.
Yeah, 100 quid an hour. Would
I
you
do
do?
way more for that. You might think.
Think about how many clients you could have in one night.
Yeah, you could have multiple.
Yeah,
fellas
between like
almost,
slots like 5 to fucking 11 or something.
Well, I think we need to put this in the back burner alongside our OnlyFans.
Yeah, but honestly, like, because do you know there is like there's a website. What's it again? Oh, it's a really famous one for sugar babies and sugar mamas and sugar daddies.
I know what you're called. I forget the name of it.
Oh, I look it up there, yeah. That's going to wreck mine up. But basically, like, see, the whole thing, what's interesting about the sugar babies is they're usually students that are looking for another revenue stream to keep them going during college. So they're probably quite expensive to the sugar.
Is it seeking.com?
That's it, seeking arrangements, is
That's
it?
the one.
Seeking
Yeah.
arrangements, yeah. So, like, I wonder, it's probably more mots that apply to be sugar babies more so than blokes. Because it's not that often you find, like, single rich ones. Do you know what I mean?
Jesus, there are 5
Yeah, that's
sugar
true.
babies for every sugar daddy in Dublin.
No
Man,
way.
some of the young ones on here.
Yeah.
Stop.
Madness, man.
I'm
But, like, have you
mad.
heard about, like, some of these mots make an absolute dime, lads?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
Being
knew
a
a
sugar
girl
baby.
once who said that literally she had like a 30, like it was a 35-year-old now, and she was 20. She was in college.
Mad.
And,
All I do is buy
Yeah.
them things.
Yeah, they get phones and all. They get
see,
iPhones.
She was a model, so like he was into it. Like
Yeah.
I think he was like he was from a different country, but he was living here.
Right.
I'm not sure where he's from, but he was like basically paying for her to like
Yeah, oh,
go
yeah.
do stuff and all. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, like the stories I've heard is like these mots that are going around like they're like 19, 20, and they're like, now I don't know to
Some
what
of them
extent.
don't even have to meet up with the people.
Yeah.
Because
Well, that's what I'm gonna say. It doesn't necessarily have to be like they're riding them around like that, like
Yeah.
prostitution. That they,
Oh yeah, like this
it's
case,
just
this
company,
case she
like.
wasn't.
Yeah.
She wasn't at all. Like, and we were all like freaked out saying, "Oh, she definitely is." Like that's fucking weird.
But even if
she
she
wasn't.
is, like,
Yeah.
worth it.
Yeah, like to be honest, you're like,
If you're not bothered, if you're not faced by
Transactional.
that kind of thing,
like it's not like she's being pinned down against her will. Like she had to join seeking arrangements, say, look, I'm up for being a fucking sugar baby.
It's
She
not
had,
just
she had to
prostitution
agree
going
to
away.
this. There could be some form of coercion here, but she had to say, or he, depending on the context, yeah, look, I'm up for this. This is my price. Do what
Yeah.
you want.
Yeah, but from what I hear as well, like a lot of the time,
This is a form of prostitution.
it
isn't
is definitely. But like, is
basically.
there like different grades of prostitution? Like, because I think this would be at the lower end of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like,
very much more consensual.
yeah, exactly.
Although it's transactional,
Yeah.
it's consensually transactional.
Because a lot of time, like
Yeah.
from what I heard, it wouldn't even be the lashing. It's just like, okay, will you just be like in my company, like just keep me company
just
for
like a trophy wife.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it, like
Yeah.
particularly in like posh neighborhoods, just to be seen, to be he was with your man, like your one was
Yeah,
with
yeah.
your man, or you like you had a little,
Yeah.
you had like a little thing on the
100%.
side.
It's like remember
like
I was
buying a
telling
new
you-
car or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
like when we
Yeah.
discussed on the Hitler
Did
episode.
you just compare? Sorry, did you just compare a woman to a car?
Sorry, no.
Did you just objectify women? That
no,
way?
Jesus,
it's
Jordan.
the
Beautiful.
it's the person who is buying this not object, but like as regards like
this product or service.
this product or service. Yes, that's the best way to put it.
We're all products or services.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
realistically, like, well, we are going to be now after we set ourselves up on this show,
100%. But you know, like when I was telling you about on the Hitler episode on Escort Ireland, the GFE experience.
Yes.
Yeah. Me and Cunnell, me mate, we were at the Spider Awards in November for our business, right? And we were messing, saying like, well, he has a board. I was like, I might actually jump on Escort Ireland and just buy like the most outrageous mod ever, just to come to the awards
Buy
ceremony.
the
with me. Do you know what
most outrageous mod ever.
Yeah,
Look at
I think if
sex
anyone's
dolls.
objectifying
how,
here,
how much is that? How much would this be for the GFE? Like for the full GFE?
I don't know, but I'd say it would definitely be a grand. I'd say if you were looking for like the fittest mod ever to go to like an awards ceremony with you.
Does this include anything sexual, or is this?
I don't know,
just-
to be honest, I didn't get that far, but I'd say if you're going on Escort Ireland, it probably is the whole 9 yards, baby.
Jesus Christ, the whole 9 centimeters. Man.
Yeah.
3 inches, you mean?
Mate,
Take
that's
it or
actually a
leave it.
compliment. That's actually, I aspire to be 3 inches. But like 100% though, but I was like this imagine me rocking up to the Spiders lads with like this mad like Argentinian like supermodel, like do you know what I mean? It'd be hilarious, wouldn't it?
Bombshell.
Like
Yeah.
Sofia Vergara. Or something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Literally think about Modern Family every time I think about that. It's like-
Definitely, yeah. So that's what I imagine the sugar baby thing really a bit as well. Like if you're like some 50-year-old CEO who's like widowed or doesn't have a board, but you have a few quid, and you're like, okay, I have an event coming up or something, like I'm gonna get a little sugar baby to just kind of hang around with me for a few weeks. I'll buy her a few iPhone, pay off her college or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
This is the thing. Like, if you have crazy cash, this is nothing to you. Like,
Oh,
these are
yeah.
people who are probably earning 100k, 200k, 300k plus a year. So to give some young one or some young fella, a
Pittance,
grand
like,
or two, it's
Yeah,
nothing.
few p. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not much.
Pocket
like.
change.
Yeah. So I definitely think this needs to be explored properly by the lads, doesn't it? Mainly for me, like I want to be a sugar baby. Like that's a dream for me.
We can get that.
We'll start marketing you. Like,
Gary,
do a photo shoot.
Yeah, and I'd actually be quite cost effective, like, because I'm not looking like for me college paid off for an iPhone. I have all that gear, do you know what I mean? So like,
why are you looking to fund?
Yeah, I'd actually just say, look, you don't need to give me anything. Just you're 70, right? I'm 28. Let's get it on.
Could we not just set up a GoFundMe? Is that not something as well? Could you have to set up a GoFundMe instead of trying to seek sugar daddies and sugar babies?
Whichever, man. If any L ones listening to this, give me a shout, yeah? Rich, preferably.
I would do it.
Yeah.
I just have to. It would be a fair price.
Yeah.
Because I think it could
make sure you get paid what you're worth.
It's like getting an OnlyFans as well. It could kind of like harper on your future
Yeah.
career. You know?
Yeah, 100%.
Like you don't want that being plastered everywhere, do you? Maybe you do,
I
guys.
just wouldn't mind, to be honest. Shit, at this stage, just worse plastered about me. The Rialto Gazette. They're always coming after me every week, making up shit about me, baby.
They're at your door every second day. Like.
You're the fucking editor-in-chief, man.
Yeah. Actually, what's the worst thing I've said on this PC about myself that like, if someone was like totally stupid and believed it? Because obviously a lot of it's just made up, like, then on the spot jokes. But is there anything like, if this blew up, that one be like, okay, right? Like the rec quote.
Into a bit of controversy.
Yeah, like the rec quote.
I don't think so.
I think it's been more you with the
finger.
Exactly.
The
Yeah,
younger children.
The paedophilia thing. Yeah. Then again, though, I
Nothing
say
incriminating.
Nothing incriminating. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, if we have any super fans by yourself, Jordan, that like knows every fucking line back to front of the PC that wants to flag something with us before,
there's no point even asking you. We know you have the answers, mate. That's why you're in the chair.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I think
that's something we need to know before we blow into the stratosphere, because we might need to go back and censor a few things.
I think we're too like self-deprecative in a funny sense, and not in a like I actually just murdered someone sense.
Yeah, like we slag ourselves more than we slag anyone else by far, like by a huge
100%.
margin. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we probably are alright.
Yeah.
But yeah, give us a few more headlines there, Danny. I know you've been looking up some mad shit.
Let me find the seagull one now for you. So there's a man in Glasgow who was attacked by a seagull. Beware of the bird. This is on Sky News.
He's nothing special. Gary gets peppered every day.
Yeah.
Seagull attacks man
100%.
outside home. A man in Glasgow has filmed himself sprinting to his front door while trying to fend off a marauding seagull.
Mate, marauding is one of the most beautiful adjectives I've ever heard in my life to describe them.
Can I actually just play the clip?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
That was,
just waiting in that chimney, waiting for me to get out the mall. That's what doing on us.
I'll put subtitles on this.
Yeah, yeah.
Stay on. Come on.
Does he actually get out of the car?
PTSD,
The
lads.
thing catapults towards him.
Lads.
This is like Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
over there, like.
pterodactyl shit.
We've been spending a lot of time out on Black Rock, and these seagulls are chicken sized.
Oh, they are massive. Like we
glad
were
believe
down
it.
at the pier. We were like, I was trying to feed one of the little birds that was coming along. Two big fucking seagulls just swoop in. Like he wasn't getting any of that.
How can they identify food from such a height? Have you ever
I know.
noticed that?
They've got supervision.
Yeah, they honestly do. Because I was at the bus stop in Sherry area the other day, right? And a load of scumbags fucked a roll out of their car, right? Like the end of a roll. And it landed on the road, right? And obviously Corona, so there's not that much traffic on the road. So it was ages before another car came along, right? But I was thinking, like, geez, I wonder if any of them seagulls on top of that roof over there that's absolutely miles away will clock that as food.
Yeah.
Mate, one of them flew over, right? And picked it up, and before you know, like, it was accompanied by about 70 other thugs, yeah, right? And they were literally on the ground scrapping over ends of a row, right? It was like during the castle all over again, right? And it was a massacre, it was. And I was like at the bus stop thinking, they might come for me next, like, do you know what I mean? But that's a dream, like, I swear to you, Dan, I said, like, a dream mine is to Superman punch a seagull.
Oh,
like,
we were tempted to do it the other day.
Like, I would, like, this size, the only reason I think God gave me a size 12 foot is to absolutely, on the half volley,
half volley,
decapitate a seagull, body separated from head.
Yeah.
I will hold his head, and I actually want to hold the head, clamp the head down, and kick the body off.
See, there might be a few seagull lovers listening, like they're going to say, like, this is
the most
seagull abuse.
controversial
You know, it's like, mark our words, they're coming.
This is kind of funny. This is very funny, actually. When I was in Liverpool, one of the lads, Kieran, knew.
Shout out.
A friend of a friend's boyfriend. He's Irish as well. He's doing his masters into the migration patterns of seagulls. That's literally all he studies all day. And
he is the devil.
Man, he looks like the devil. And in all seriousness, in a jokey way, like, he has a big handlebar mustache. He's from Kildare.
Right.
His name's Lucifer.
Yeah.
No joke. And the cunt just studies seagulls all day.
Okay,
and I
this
actually
chap's a
asked him, I
freak.
said to him, I was like, look, we have had awful run-ins with seagulls. Like, what is up? And he was actually trying to explain to me that their migration patterns have changed.
Right.
So that we actually get the larger breed of seagulls
Knew it.
arriving.
I
Wherever
knew
the
there was
Supermax is, they just...
Yeah, exactly. Scientifically, I knew there's something going on. We thought it was Supermax, but maybe it is
It's
Supermax.
around like the Irish Sea in between Liverpool, Dublin, Belfast, all around that kind of the Bermuda, the Seagull Triangle.
Yeah,
the Supermax triangle.
Yeah. That's where you find
The Mighty
big
Mac is
gulls.
what's like leading them on. Like, here, do you know what I mean? They're getting the fumes of the Mighty Mac like for all the way to the Isle of Wight, and they're just going and just flying towards us. But I'd absolutely love the scorpion kick a seagull as well. Like when you said it there, I would get serious joy out of Superman punching or scorpion kicking a seagull, because like they're a proper epidemic and they're targeting the lads. Like babies are next. I keep saying it every time. Would not be shocked at all if a seagull whipped a baby out of kiln and flew off with it.
Oh no, I wouldn't be shocked either, to be honest.
I suppose finally to round it off, what do we think of Elon and the pyramids? This is more your chat there, Danny, isn't it?
Yeah, so Elon came out with a tweet the other day basically saying the pyramids were built by aliens. OBV. Now the one thing I love about Elon is how colloquial he is. This is obviously the language used by his demographic, which is the 16 to 25 year old incellular male.
Yeah.
Incelibate male, basically. And on top of that, then he basically was like, look at this structure. This is man's tallest freestanding structure, over 3,800 years old. It's clearly aliens. Then one of the interior ministers in Egypt invited him over and said, we want you and your SpaceX crew to come over and investigate, and we are waiting dearly for your arrival, Mr. Musk.
That's fucking beautiful, man. So he's a believer. We have to get Musk on now, like he does in JRE. Spark up a big fat joint and talk all things pyramids and aliens.
It has to be, though. Has to be aliens.
I was actually trying to convince my mom to get a Tesla.
Your ma?
Yeah, I'm trying to convince her to get a Tesla. She's like, what's
that?
that?
Gaff would be robbed.
What's that? And I'm like,
Target and your gaff and crumble.
It's what is it, Tesla? How dare she? You know what she threw back at me? A Nissan Leaf.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Jesus.
I was like, you might as well go for a Prius, ma'am. You might as well go for a Prius if you're going to disown me that much.
That's outrageous, mate. Do you know there's a KFC beside the pyramids in Egypt?
Is there actually?
Yeah, isn't that like the most fucking 2020 thing you've ever heard in your life?
What's mad is the Egyptian, the biggest Egypt, like it's a role, an Egyptologist. You can study Egyptology in college, right? And he literally said no, mate, he came out and said he said Musk's argument is a complete hallucination. The pyramids were built by slaves and not by aliens.
Fucking buzzkill. Buzzkill. Yeah, we have to do a proper episode.
We need to do an episode debunking that.
Yeah, exactly. Go straight after them, because I'm definitely pro pyramids, aliens. I guess we're on the same page, that, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I think we need to go visit the Great Pyramids of Giza, bring some life back to them.
100%, mate.
I reckon we could try scale them.
Oh my God, Assassin's Creed shit. Imagine. Just run at the pyramids and just do like parkour. You know what I mean?
Just scale them.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon they have snipers on those things, though.
No, surely.
Well, you can't get within a certain distance of them, can't you? Only
Can you not visit them? Like go in and all?
I don't think. I think only the Egyptologists can.
You're messing, mate.
You
I suppose, yeah.
You go to the Sphinx, which again is not real as well. Obviously created by aliens.
Yeah,
obviously.
It's too fucking like back then.
But there's so much about that, like we can get into it in a full other episode. There's no point even getting into it now. That the Sphinx had an original head, and its head is completely changed. The head was of a cat or of a Sphinx.
Go away.
And then the head of a pharaoh was put on.
Interesting, my man. Lads, let's pencil that in, a little pyramid episode in the next couple of weeks. What do you think?
Yes.
I know you were kind of talking about it off mic there a while ago, Danny, about doing something with the pyramids, but I think that could be a great shout to move into, because obviously, like,
I would love to try and get an Egyptologist onto the PC.
Yeah.
Because there's an Egyptology department even in UCD. And there's a professor of archaeology that I used to do, this is mad, Tai Chi with, who I could reach out to.
Oh my days.
It's Indiana Jones.
He's an archaeologist and geologist. He's Indiana Jones.
Harrison Ford shows up.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen. That could be an interesting one.
Interesting. I'm really excited by this because, like, watching actually fans, let us know what you think of these little mess episodes. We've started throwing them back in over the last few weeks because we were going heavy on the content episodes, the first few episodes of season 2. So we've thrown in a few mess episodes just to lighten the mood. But I imagine next week we'll probably go back into something a bit more content driven. So let us know what you thought of this. Yeah. We wrap it up there, gents.
100%.
Yeah. And congratulations, Jordan,
thanks very much.
on a successful episode.
Mate, great story.
Yeah,
fantastic story. Man, 100%.
I hope you get into another altercation like that shortly.
And this time lose the flu officially.
This time wear a head cam so we can actually see. Gary needs to be able to a full visual on this man.
I want to know who this individual is. I want to actually hunt him down, make his day.
Oh, mate, I kind of wanted to do that after I walked away. I was like, I want to go back and just say, who the fuck do you think you were?
Imagine going Paul Williams on this, on the crime investigator.
Yeah,
going and absolutely tracking this bloke down and all for the PC, vigilante. I was like, who do you think you were? Trying to.
Well, we're already doing the whole pedo vigilante thing as well.
Yes.
So we have our hands in many pies on the.
If there's anyone who wants to join us on the track down of this illustrious male. I reckon we could get. No, hold on a second. We can garner the CCTV footage of this event.
That was actually true. It's outside the Garda station.
We're directly outside the Garda station.
That's interesting.
Go for this and say, look, I'm not gonna lie. What happened, I'm not proud of. But if this man would strike, he'd strike again.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, he's carrying around the Stanley life.
Exactly.
And, he's targeting young flame-looking men.
Yeah.
So this could
with my haircut and my physique.
I love that.
So we're actually potentially saving them on a future crime or a future murder. Or
he's a brazen cunt though.
Future castration.
Yeah, he's a brazen cunt doing it outside the Garda station, doesn't he?
I know, yeah.
I know.
But that's what I'm saying. I didn't even fucking think to go to the Garda station. I was just like, get me out of here.
Yeah, you were just excited, do you know what I mean? Ready to do the job.
I was just like, not in public.
Chase me down this way.
I know a spot. Come here.
Right, boys. Fantastic. We'll see you on the next one. Yeah.
Yeah.